You actually liked me, didn't you? What am I doing? Why do I want to hurt you so bad? I'm supposed to be a friend. I just want to be a friend.
While writing my review for the movie, I realized I was focusing too much on Spinel and not the movie as a whole, so I decided to make a little video talking about her, then make a video on my overall thoughts on the movie, because Spinel really deserves this attention. With every movie, there's a star, and that star is the center of the movie, the character we care for most, but every great star needs a co-star along with them, though this one almost outshined the main star. Spinel, in my opinion, is a perfectly designed character, and I don't mean her appearance, though that is spectacular. What I mean is her movement. The animation in this movie was way beyond the cells, which is what allowed Spinel to have her incredible movement, and this is essential to her character, because it brings her to life. Her abilities allow the animators to move her more freely, even when she's standing still. She still has life by bouncing up and down, but that's just the beginning. They use her abilities to play off what she says, like when she sings over and over again, she springs back up and down doing it over and over again. They use it to also emphasize her emotions by giving her a goofy look and having her arms flailing about when she was in her original form, to show how carefree and innocent she is. But when we first meet her, she's more loose to show how she's basically lost her mind, or that she just feels lost. This unique style also allows her to have a distinctive fighting style, like making her fist really big or spinning around like a top. Her fighting style is definitely a breath of fresh air for the show. It honestly blew me away how Spinel's movements alone made me interested in her, but her personality and backstory made me adore her more. Let me adore her more. Sorry, that was a bad joke on the Diamond Song. Spinel's character perfectly fits with her quirky movement because she bounces all over the place, literally and figuratively. Her emotions are bouncing in her head, clashing with each other, causing a conflict within herself, and her character quite literally bounces all over the place. She's there 1 second, now she's here, though that might be something I'm overthinking on. One thing I've definitely been overthinking, and I briefly mentioned it, is how her new form, I don't know what else to call it, moves. While watching the movie again, I noticed how loose her arms are a lot, and knowing her backstory, it makes me think that she's so loose because she's lost herself. We see this at the beginning when she lost Pink Diamond, then again when she feels Steven is against her. Now, you could say her loose arms are just because of her new reformation, but during that brief time when Spinel thought of Steven as a friend, her arms and demeanor were normal. Her arms weren't loose at all during that time, and that's because she was found. Sadly, she fell back into the darkness shortly after she was finally found.
And then she smiled, that's what I'm after. The smile in her eyes, the sound of her laughter.
Her backstory, however, is not so lively. She was a loyal playmate to Pink Diamond, always there for her, and always wanting a smile on her face. But when Pink Diamond got her colony, she had a way to get away from her. So she played the typical parent game, don't move till I come back, and Pink Diamond went off to her new life. Again, quite literally, and she never came back. Now, when most kids play this game with their parents, they usually get bored of it fast and move on. But Spinel is not a kid. Although she may act like it, she is not. She's loyal to her diamond, her only friend. So she waited for years, thousands of years, until a little boy popped up on her screen declaring he was Pink Diamond, and he wanted to spend his life with his friends, not her. Well, that just broke Spinel. Now, here's my crazy little theory, which has no ground to stand on, but it's interesting to think. After this moment, Spinel comes to Earth, but her form is different from her original. So I believe she poofed herself, feeling so much pain from Steven's message, and that's why she looks so different. The reason why I don't think she simply shapeshifted like Pink Diamond did to become Rose Quartz, or vice versa, is because we know the Rejuvenator reverts gems back to their original form. And then once they get their pieces, they turn back to their current form. So if Spinel shapeshifted into a new form, then when she got her pieces back, she would have just stayed in her original form, because it wouldn't turn you back to your shapeshifted form. Only reformations. Or else we would have seen all of Amethyst's shapeshifted forms throughout the years, which would have been a lot, and if you're still not convinced, Spinel says this.
Back to where I never left.
she said this while in her original form, which is telling us her original self never left the garden, but her new self did. But that's just a theory, a cartoon theory. Thanks for watching, though the video is not over yet. This backstory is really compelling, because feeling abandoned or forgotten is an awful and relatable feeling that makes you feel with the villain, which is really hard to do, but it is important to understand why they are doing what they're doing, and I understand Spinel's motivation. In the movie, there was some really great foreshadowing of Spinel's fear of abandonment, which I really liked seeing and noticing on my second viewing. Now, I've seen a couple reviews of the movie at this time, just because I'm curious how fans and non-fans think of the movie. I've seen both good and bad ones, but one video made an interesting complaint about Spinel that I want to counter, or at least try to counter. Now, I really love this channel, and I respect them a lot. Their videos are really well made and thought out, but I just want to put my own take on his complaint, just to get a debate or conversation going. Their complaint was that Spinel having to find someone goes against Pearl's arc of her trying to find a way to live for herself. So Steven supporting Spinel's search for someone is contradicting Steven's support for Pearl trying to live for herself. I'm not sure if this is exactly what he meant, but this is how I took it. And even if it isn't what he meant, I still think it's an interesting point to talk about. I think Steven's right for supporting both Pearl and Spinel, because they are both in different situations. Pearl had friends all around her, supporting her when she was down and helping her become independent by pushing her to do new things, trying to find something that makes her happy. Having people who care for you is very important, which is why Steven supports Spinel's search for someone to care for her, because Spinel had nobody, which is why she ended up going down the dark road she went down. I'm glad I have people around me who care for me because they make me want to be a better person. Now, having the diamonds be those people for Spinel definitely might be problematic. I think she would have found lots of supportive friends in New Homeworld or any planet where gems live, but I think her going with the diamonds is a way for the Crewniverse to not actually have to put her in the show, because I bet she is really expensive to animate, so the show's normal budget wouldn't be able to do her justice. And I wouldn't want her in the show if she lost her fluent movement. Hopefully I'm wrong and she does get an episode or two, but I'm leaning towards it not happening. Time to put my MatPat shoes on because I'm going to deep theory territory now, and this is something that just popped into my head while watching the movie again. The theory is, what was Yellow, White, and Blue's purpose for giving Pink Spinel? As we know, the garden was built for Spinel and Pink to play together, as Spinel tells us.
A special world built just for Pink and I.
And the only people that would give an order like this are the diamonds. We also know that Spinel was given to Pink after Pink Pearl was taken away, and Pink got our Pearl. I will be calling the Pearl we all know and love our Pearl, since there are so many pearls in this theory, so it will be clearer. We know this because Spinel knows our Pearl is Pink Diamond's Pearl, which he would only know if our Pearl was Pink Diamond's Pearl during Spinel's time with Pink. See, I told you there would be a lot of pearls. Pink Pearl was deemed a bad influence for Pink, and so she was corrected by White. Now Pink needs a Pearl, because all diamonds need one, so that's why she was given our Pearl. But the diamonds did not want her to get away with things like Pink Pearl let Pink do. So that's why they gave her Spinel, a gem that always wants to play with her best friend and is overly clingy. This would allow Pink to let out all her silly tendencies with Spinel, and they made sure Spinel would never leave Pink, so she would never have to deal with the loss of a friend again, like with what happened with Pink Pearl, because I'm sure Pink felt pain after Pink Pearl left, though the diamonds caused that loss, so it's funny how they're preventing one this time. But when Pink finally got tired of playing silly games, she couldn't get rid of Spinel, because of her clinginess programmed in her gem, which we see as a part of her default form with Steven. That's why Pink decided to play that cruel game, because that's the only way Spinel would stop following her, through a game. Now, Pink is definitely an awful person for doing this, and it gives us another reason to dislike Pink. I mean, Steven isn't even surprised anymore by his mom's deeds.
I can't believe Mom did that to you. Actually, I can totally believe it.
Overall, Spinel was my favorite addition to the Steven Universe movie. She brought humor, emotions, depth, and great music, which are all things I love in a character. The video is finally over, and I have no idea how well this video is, because I've never tried something like this before. But it sure was neat to try it out. If you guys like this sort of stuff from me, please let me know. It really helps me handle this channel and see where to go with it. I love feedback, positive or negative, though I hope more people like this than dislike it. I still want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And last, but certainly not least, thank you for watching the video. It means a lot that you took the time out of your day to watch a cartoon nerd talk extensively over a cartoon character. Here's a medal for your work, and I'll see you next time.